I once dumped my boyfriend on a plane, then parachuted straight out of the door to avoid dealing with the aftermath.
David's team.
Wow. So what was the plane? What was the context?
It was with the army. I was doing a sort of army exercise because I was being taken on by the Royal Engineers as a sapper, a celebrity sapper, and I had to detonate a bomb and all sorts of things. And one of the things was a parachute jump, and my boyfriend came with me sweetly.
Am I the only one who doesn't know what a sapper is?
No.
No.
David,
like the army.
David has an awareness of the military. What is a sapper?
What do you mean I have an awareness of the military? A sapper is a sort of soldier.
Thank you, that's me.
Did you plan on breaking up with your boyfriend pre this trip?
It wasn't going well, and I thought I had been trying to work out the exact moment when it would be good, and he really wanted to come with me on the day, and to be honest, I wanted to go on my own because there's just going to be me and about
loads of soldiers.
1,000 soldiers.
We've all had days like that, Annika.
And as the day progressed, I just got more and more annoyed that he was there. And then we went up in the aeroplane, and he just said, "I don't think things are really going well. You seem a bit distant today." And I just said, "I don't think it's working in
And the man in charge was thinking, I hope she doesn't mean the parachute.
Was he then going to follow you? Was your boyfriend jumping
No,
as
he
well?
didn't have a parachute.
Oh, well.
So he
Well, I hope he didn't just
jump.
out of instinct follow you. Come back.
Is your love admin, do you think, a reasonable use of our defence budget? I mean... what? I mean, if
Yes.
What was the altitude when you jumped?
I don't know.
Well, you must... They didn't say.
Does 1,000 feet, 15... Who parachutes?
1,000 feet?
I mean,
That's low.
I would say 8 to 12 or something like that.
8 to 12 feet.
I find that quite challenging. What are you thinking? Is she telling the truth? Did this happen?
Well, I have one problem with this story, which is that if you're thinking you need to, you know, end your relationship, that's potentially an embarrassing, awkward moment, something you might be inclined to put off. And one of the things, if I were you, I might be inclined to put it off until after, is the occasion when I have to jump out of an aircraft. Because
This is why there's never been a popular programme called Challenge David.
Well, yeah, but...
People would set you some brave challenges and you'd very calmly and rationally explain why you couldn't possibly do them.
But assuming, hypothetically, that I have agreed to jump out of an aircraft...
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not have that conversation just before I jumped out of the aircraft. I'd think, well, I might, you know, look on the bright side, the fall might kill me, in which case I'd never have to have the conversation.
She did say that she hadn't planned to. It was because he said, you seem a bit distant.
Yes,
And
but not as distant as she seemed a second later as she fell towards the ground.
Samson, what are you thinking?
I can't buy it. Like, I would have just broken up with him on the ground.
I think it's almost certainly true.
Almost certainly true.
Yeah.
So what are you going to say, David?
I think it might be true.
Annika, jumping out of a plane and breaking up, was it true or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
I worked in a school. I locked another teacher in a cupboard to teach him a lesson.
Oh. What did you teach?
Humanities.
Humanity? I thought you were going to say humans, then. Humanities. And what age were the kids? I'm checking out your teaching credentials before we get to the other bit of the story.
Yeah, all good. Secondary school kids.
Secondary school?
Yeah,
and where in the country was this?
In the West Midlands.
West Midlands, right, OK. You're a teacher, aren't you? Does all that stack up?
I'm not anymore, Lee.
You used to be a teacher, didn't you?
I'm a well-known comedian.
Are you? I genuinely thought you were a celebrity teacher, and that's why you were here. I thought you were from that thing about teaching people in Yorkshire. Is that not you? Oh.
Where did you do your teaching degree?
Never mind that. Where'd you do your comedy gigs? Why did you lock the other teacher in? Was it a cupboard?
Yeah, it was the humanities cupboard, yeah.
Why did you lock him in there?
Me and him had beef on site.
Had beef on what?
On site.
Is that a sandwich?
No. As soon as we locked eyes, I knew there was going to be an issue because he thought he was the most popular teacher amongst the kids. So I turned up at school, and within a week, I was the most popular teacher in school.
Big
he was
head.
very... Listen, I'm just
What
saying...
made you such a popular teacher?
I was like the Pied Piper of literacy. Kids would follow me around everywhere like, yo, sir.
That is quite a claim. Pied Piper of literacy? humanities department.
That's correct.
Ignore humanities. Come and read my novels, children.
Yeah, and so obviously the reputation's going around school, like, yeah, sir, taught me how to use full stops and that, he's a sick guy. So...
That is a sentence that has never been uttered by anybody under the age of 21. He taught me how to use full stops, he's a sick guy.
Yeah. How long did you lock him in a cupboard for?
Actually, here's part of the story that you need to know fundamentally. The reason why I chose him to lock him in the cupboard on that day is because I knew it would make him late for his lesson observation.
Observation?
Yes. So a lesson observation is essentially how teachers are judged on how good they are as teachers, yeah? It's not based on how you move these children on emotionally, spiritually, how you build them as human beings. It's a 15-minute window in which a waste man that can't teach themselves comes in and judges you. That's not right.
So you locked him in so he'd get into trouble on his Oh.
Yeah, I did. Should I tell you why?
Please do.
He started spreading a rumour amongst the senior leadership team that I wasn't marking my students' books.
Right. Is that bad?
I wasn't, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? Snitch! Greg, no snitching on other teachers, right?
And what was the upshot of all of this? Did you let him out? Did he escape?
Is he still there?
No, I did let him out eventually. I just wanted to ensure that he was late for that lesson observation because that means you're looked upon very harshly by the senior leadership team that he had been snitching me out to. So, you know, fair, square, squares, you know what I'm saying?
If you were capable of locking a man in this cupboard, surely a kid could have got locked in there and it would have been a health and safety disaster.
Yeah, I banged a couple of them in there as well every now and then, but...
All right, what are you thinking?
I'm saying it's true.
Lucy? Do you need rebooting?
I'm going to say it's a lie.
Are you?
I just find it implausible.
Do you believe people can have beef on site?
I'm persuadable. I don't feel so strongly about it.
Well, they say it's true.
You can say it's true. OK. Guz, were you just telling us the truth or were you telling us a lie?
I was telling...
I once broke into a convent and stole food from some nuns.
Please do.
When did this happen?
When I was hungry. Quite hungry. Which was when I was young and didn't have any money.
How young?
Not 18, 19.
Was it just you, or was there anyone else involved?
A friend helped me.
And what did you steal?
I stole vegetables.
Vegetables?
Stole
When was
vegetables?
Is it the 19th century?
Well, because it's nuns. Nuns grow things in gardens.
Well, they do on TV, but in real life they go to Asda.
All nuns grow vegetables.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No.
I can't imagine a nun not growing vegetables.
Yeah. If you can name a nun who doesn't grow vegetables, then go ahead.
Trevor Nunn.
What I did was, while she distracted them at the door, I snuck round into their garden, which they do have, it's not just on TV, and stole vegetables.
Dug them up?
No, you don't dig up all vegetables. There are some hanging.
Like what?
Beans.
You're milking a cow now. Is there a cow there as well? Don't worry, we'll get some milk while we're at it. So you lived near this nunnery?
No, we had to drive there.
Why, if you were poor, did you have a car?
She had a car.
Right, so...
How did you get 2 syllables out of poor? You almost got more syllables than there are letters.
How far was the car journey, Jennifer?
About 40 minutes, I suppose.
You drove for 40 minutes? That's doing a heist.
It was a heist.
It would have cost you more in petrol to just go and buy potatoes and tomatoes.
Not in 1980, no. Petrol was quite cheap then.
What do you think? Does this sound as though it could be true?
No way.
So, Steph, you think it's a lie. Joe, which way?
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
I think it's true.
No.
Just the one syllable.
What, that you...
I was waiting for the rest of it.
So what's it going to be?
I have to go with the majority, even though I feel it's true.
OK, they say it's a lie. Jennifer, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
I once spent a pleasant afternoon riding around topless on a motorbike.
Please, team.
Hang on. Where were you going on this motorbike?
That is the last question I'd have thought of.
Very practical.
Wow.
Yes, he's
We've got different angles, me and you, haven't we?
Indeed, yes.
Who were you with?
A friend.
Was he riding in you at the back or the other way around?
I beg your pardon?
What was the man's name, Esme?
It was, Phil.
Phil.
Phil?
And what relationship were you to Phil?
He was my boyfriend.
So he was your boyfriend. When was this? I mean, just give us an approximation.
Oh, decades ago.
How many decades?
Oh, no.
No what?
Don't make us say that.
All right, which century?
The last century.
Is that worse? Is that worse?
Definitely worse.
I'm not good at these things. What about...
He's a very, very rude man.
What's he wearing?
I don't remember.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Did he have anything out?
Well, he had his arms out.
Can you first of all tell us why you decided to go to... Was it just because you were being devil-may-care?
Well, I'd been sunbathing.
Really?
Right.
Right.
In my knickers.
Just your knickers?
Well, no, actually, I had a scarf tied around my top.
Oh, and then you
Right.
took that off on the motorbike. That's very dangerous.
Did it? Oh,
Could have got caught in the wheels.
I'll tell you what, if my idea earlier would have been that Phil had something out, he could have caught that in the wheels, couldn't he?
I don't know who this Phil is, but he's very impressive. You should never have dumped him.
So you are lying, sunbathing, and he suggests, why don't we go for a spin on the bike?
Yep.
You jump on the back of the bike, and at this point, you've got the improvised bra thing on. So when you start riding, it's on. At what point in the journey did you decide to get rid of the scarf? And where did you put it?
Well, what happened is, because we were going so fast, the scarf fell round my waist.
You were holding on to him, I guess. So you weren't in a position to put it back on?
No.
And how long did this last?
About 45 minutes, an
45
hour.
minutes? Where was this in the world?
Surrey.
Oh. I know Surrey well. Whereabouts in Surrey?
I think it was called Bug Hill.
Right.
Do you know Bug Hill?
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
I'll never forget, it's where I once saw a topless motorbike.
So I suppose, in a way, though, they're not totally exposed to the elements.
How big are they?
Well, I don't know.
So it's a very windy day if they're out there.
Tell you that...
Not very nice.
You were doing the size of them.
I wasn't going like...
Oh, you were doing this?
They weren't... I was actually just... I don't know how big the scarf was. I don't know about these matters.
What are you thinking, Vicky?
I think it's true.
You think it's true as
I
well?
think she's a wild child.
I really enjoyed it. It felt like an episode of Heartbeat.
It did a bit, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to go with my team. If both my team members say it's
Well,
true.
it was my gut feeling.
OK, so you're saying that it's true.
OK.
Esme, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yeah! Victoria doesn't know this. But on those very rare occasions that she does something I find irritating, I get my own back by sneaking upstairs and moving her bookmarks.
Please, T.
When you say Victoria doesn't know this, surely when she goes to the book to read the book and she goes where the bookmark is, there must be lots of instances where she's thinking, am I losing my mind? I'm not following this book. Or...
Yes, that's exactly what she thinks.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Victoria, when you're reading a book, do you ever sometimes have that feeling of being lost? Do you ever have
I
a
have
feeling
sometimes opened a book and thought, I didn't think that's where I was.
How many books are you reading at the same time?
I mean, 7 or 8.
David, how many books does Victoria read at the same time?
Oh, I'd put it between 6 and 9.
And do they tend to be fiction, non-fiction?
Yes, those are the main two.
And what are the things you said? Sometimes, rare occasions, Victoria does something that...
I don't want to go into that.
No, I mean, far away.
No, I don't want to go into that.
What sort of things are we talking about?
No, just behavioural things. just the simplest things to do with things she said or done. That's
Maybe when I ask you what the weather's going to be like, and I go, what do you think it's going to be? And you go, I don't think anything. I've looked at the weather forecast, and what it says is this.
Things like, yes. Essentially, she holds me responsible for the weather forecast, as if I've made it.
No, she doesn't. She says, what do you think the weather's going to do? Perfectly reasonable.
It's not perfectly reasonable.
What?
She's got access to the weather forecast on her own phone. It's just, these are meteorologists. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. I'm just reading it out.
They are physically sitting further apart, have you noticed?
Is there anything, Victoria, that you might do to David if he'd annoyed you? What would your retaliation be, if indeed he is moving?
Well, he might find out.
Incidentally, I've been feeling weaker and weaker over the years.
OK, what are you going to say?
I believe in their relationship. I must be just the most naive person here because I want
invested in it.
I am. I'm emotionally invested in their relationship, and I do think David's a nice guy, and I don't think he would do that because that really would upset her.
So what we're saying is, if it's true, it's a really unpleasant thing and a really bad indictment on their marriage.
Yes.
Well, this has taken a nasty turn, hasn't it?
What's it going to be?
I don't want it to be true, but...
Oh, I do.
You think it's...
I want his life to fall apart. This would be such fun.
I think it's true. I don't want it to be true. I'm trying to, see the real person. I think he's a nice guy.
No, the David I know, I don't think this is unpleasant enough.
Well, you know him way more
Yeah, but
than
also,
we know.
David doesn't like you. He will not. So it's a different relationship.
That's true, yeah. But he doesn't hate me, right?
No. Even though, Lee, you on television have said you want my marriage to fall apart, I still find you an adequate colleague.
Can I ask you a question, David? Yeah. Are you still writing for Clinton cards?
It's time to decide. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say true, but I don't want it to be true.
It can't.
Sorry.
No. It's a lie.
It's got to be a lie because it's an awful, awful thing to do.
It is.
You're saying it's a lie.
I really
Because
hope it's a
nobody
lie.
would do that.
If this is the truth, it's awful.
It really is. They're saying it's a lie. David, is it true or is it a lie?
It is a lie.
I once chatted to an old man because I felt sorry for him, only to find out later he was a global megastar.
David's team.
Well, we have to know who the global megastar
Yeah, who was he?
It's Steven Spielberg.
Where did you see Steven Spielberg and take pity on him?
The BAFTAs. I was doing the red carpet thing for BBC Three.
So had he stopped for an interview with you?
No, so I was, waiting for the next person to come up. It was Michael Fassbender. And I was, getting in the zone. And then I saw this, very refined, older gentleman standing there. And I thought he was maybe somebody's dad.
Wasn't a lot of fuss around him because he is Steven Spielberg.
You'd think. He looked a little bit lost, and I thought, I'm just going to have a chat with him, because it could be my dad, and I'd want someone to have a chat with him.
Did you put the microphone there to have the chat with him?
No, I thought he was an old man.
A real-life chat.
So what
It
did
would be
you
an
say?
odd way if you saw somebody a bit lost and a bit old looking to go, are you lost? Are you lost?
Yeah.
So
Also,
you stepped away from the cameraman and the crew.
Yeah, so I had a bit of downtime.
Yeah.
There was a VT playing, whatever.
Yeah.
E.T.?
VT.
Oh.
That would have
Thought
been
they put
ironic.
one of his films on then.
No. So anyway...
What are you watching, old man? Hey, why is the monkey on the bike?
So what did you say to him, Angela?
I was like, is it your first time at the BAFTAs? And he said, no, actually, I've been a few times, but not for quite a while. And I was like, OK, maybe he's not somebody's dad. And I said, oh, OK, who are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
Oh, I thought you said who you're looking for.
No, like, I just kept it loose, you know, who do you want to win? Have you any favourites? It's been a strong year for film.
You actually said film. Do you work in the films yourself, mate?
How did it conclude?
And then I could feel the cameras coming towards us.
And they were like, interview him. Is that the idea?
No. Well, as in, I just kept going.
Because you saw the cameras?
Yeah.
So you did start to bring the microphone into play?
When did the microphone...
Well, I was mic'd, so he could be picked up on my microphone.
Did you ask him to speak into your chest?
No. Similar height.
So why did you not think to use the handheld then?
Well, it would be a bit awkward if then I'm like, oh, he must be someone, can I have the microphone and keep talking to him?
Well, you must have known that he was someone
Yeah, obviously,
prominent.
but I can't ask him.
Would be a great last question in the interview. And just to sum up, who are you?
John, does it ring true to you? Could that happen?
I just think
everyone
would know what Steven Spielberg... Was he wearing glasses?
I think so.
Are we playing Guess Who?
I can't believe that in the whole time you were chatting, nobody went past and said, hey, Steve, how you doing? You know, and that maybe rang a bell.
But they thought we were having an interview, I suppose. And
But
it
you
would
didn't
be
have a
bit
microphone or a camera, so why do they think that?
You are obsessed with this microphone, Gabby. She is not pitch side with Dion Dublin. It's not important.
So what are you thinking then? David, what about you?
We're going to go lie.
You're saying it's a lie.
I'm saying it's a lie.
Angela, Steven Spielberg on the red carpet. Truth or lie?
He's a lovely man.